Hi, I'm Dr. Meg Haworth, and I help women abuse survivors heal their histories and their health with holistic wellness solutions, including nutrition, mind-body medicine, and transpersonal psychology. And you may be thinking, wait, what? There's a connection between abuse as a child and illness later in life? There absolutely is. And if you go to my website at meghaworth.com, you can find the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study quiz. It's the largest public health study ever done, and it has tracked 17,000 people plus at Kaiser Permanente in San Diego since the mid 90s. So, and what they have found, and all the copycat studies done all over the world have found the same thing, that certain experiences in childhood lead to chronic illness later in life. And how do I know this? Personally, I know this because I went through abuse as a child, and I ended up with over a dozen illnesses by the time I was in my 20s. So what happened for me, I was in and out of doctor's offices, and eventually I found holistic medicine, and it is what saved my life. And eventually, transpersonal psychology is what really sealed the deal for me, and why I became a transpersonal psychologist was to help people heal, because it's what did it. So, and that focuses on holistic psychology. So it looks at you as a whole individual. So we're looking at your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your energetic systems. All of those systems work together. So anyway, I can go on about that. But what I want to talk to you about today, which is so important, and I learned this. It took me a while to learn this one, and I kind of learned it on my own. But you are not your diagnosis. This is one of the most important thoughts I could possibly impart to you as a therapist, a healer, a nutrition expert, a wellness expert. Because I mean, things like I had fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome and an autoimmune disease and IBS and migraine headaches, they're gone. Like all of the holistic solutions that I use to create health in my body, they all worked, but they all worked together. And so what I do is I help other people with the same thing. And later I'm going to tell you how you can get my free process, whole person integration technique, for free on my website. And I'll tell you about that later. But for now, you are not your diagnosis. And what I want you to understand about this is often people are misdiagnosed. It's not a perfect science, unfortunately. The diagnostic, the way that they go about it, the tools that they use are not always correct. The doctor that you're working with may have it all wrong, basically. And let me just give you a couple of examples. I knew a woman who she was diagnosed with a catastrophic disease. It was some kind of rare disease. I don't even remember what it was at this point. But she was told that she only had maybe 2 years to live. She was a young mother. She was divorced. And so she called her mom right away. Her mom flew in to be with her and take care of the kids so that she could just deal with the fact that she'd gotten this catastrophic diagnosis. Well, further study into looking into this particular disease that she had revealed that the disease was only contracted by men that were in their 60s. She was a woman in her 30s. So the doctor had completely misdiagnosed her. And of course she was livid because she was misdiagnosed. And, but it taught her such a lesson, and it really taught me as I listened to her story about how important it is to go, okay, thank you for sharing, and then go out and do your own research. Talk to people who have had what you have and healed it. That's one of the most important and valuable things that I did for myself, and that I tell my clients to do, is to find somebody who's been through what you've been through and has healed it and is on the other side of it, because they know what it's like to actually experience that, to go through that journey. So that's one story that I know of, a woman who was misdiagnosed. I know of another woman who was misdiagnosed with MS. Think about getting that diagnosis. That's a catastrophic one, right? Most people automatically go, okay, I'm going to basically muscle waste until I'm paralyzed and can't do anything and then eventually die. Um, that's not always the case. I've seen MS get reversed. Dr. Terry Walls, Wahls, she's the woman to go to for that. She reversed it herself, and she's a doctor, through all the research that she did. So just open your mind to the possibility that there might be some way that you can heal the disease you have. I've also I met another woman who was misdiagnosed with cancer, and she was in end stage hospice when an Oriental medical doctor tested her and said, cancer's not your problem. It was meningitis. So she healed completely from that. She's still fine. It's been, I don't know how many years. It's been over a decade, maybe 15, 20 years. So what I'm trying to tell you is we give so much power to doctors to tell us what's up in our bodies and to give our whole identity over to a diagnosis. And this kind of came up today because I heard a woman telling her story today about a diagnosis she just received and how upset she was and all of that. And I'm not saying don't have a reaction to it, don't or pretend that this isn't happening. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, okay, this is information, it's new information, and it may be incorrect information. I need to get another opinion. I need to, think about this differently. The other thing is that when you adopt your diagnosis so deeply that it becomes a part of your identity, it's almost impossible to turn it around. Yeah, I'm going to say that. I just said that. It's almost impossible to turn it around because you've made that who you are, and your diagnosis isn't who you are. And this is one of the problems we have with labels in our society in general, in so many different areas, they can really detract from what you could be doing in the world, what you could be sharing with other people, because you're giving all of your energy and attention over to the diagnosis. I know what it's like to be sick. I know what it's like to not be able to get out of bed for weeks at a time, to have to crawl across the floor to get to the bathroom because vertigo was so bad. I know what this is like. So I'm not minimizing your experience and saying that you're wrong to have what you're going through at all. I'm just saying there's a possibility that the diagnosis you have isn't the correct one. And even if it is the correct one, when you embody the diagnosis, the fear that you have will translate to the physical body because your emotions, so this is the core right here, your emotions, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, your emotions get held in the body in what's called the body mind. And the body mind is what it sounds like. It is your body has a mind of its own. So it remembers experiences, it remembers emotions, it remembers how it felt during the experience. It will hold emotions in the part of the body that was abused, for instance. So this is what I work with. I work with people all over the world, one-on-one, doing mind-body medicine techniques. And like I told you, I was going to give you my whole person integration technique, which is a technique that my clients are having amazing results with. I've seen diseases disappear. I've seen tumors shrink. I've seen things reverse as a result of this process. So, and it's for free on my website. You can learn to do it on yourself. And I'll be offering trainings coming up so that people can go in depth to the process, because when you understand the underpinnings, that helps a lot. Or you can do it one-on-one with me to get much faster results, and also to understand all the different levels and layers that are going on simultaneously. Because remember, I said you are a holistic system. You are not just that tumor that's in your body. You have mental, emotional, physical, and energetic bodies. And all of them are working together to help you get well. They can work against each other to make everything worse. And that starts with the emotions. So guilt, shame, fear. Again, go to my website. The ebook is 10 Steps to Overcoming the Effects of Victimization. My website is meghaworth.com, MEGHAWORTH.com. I love what I do and I love to help people with this. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one, that's available too for free consultation, because I like to talk to you to see if you're ready for what I have to offer. Because sometimes maybe you're just not there yet. And if you're not, I know so many practitioners, I mean hundreds of them, and some amazing top people in the world that I can refer you to. So I just want you to get well. That's my whole deal. I want you to get well. I know what it's like to be so sick, and I know what it's like to be so well. And so I just live to share this information. So again, go to meghaworth.com. You get the free ebook, 10 Steps to Overcoming the Effects of Victimization, the Adverse Childhood Experiences quiz, plus your results of the quiz and what to do about it. And then you also get a free recipe book because I'm also a chef. I worked with celebrities in Hollywood for years, and actually I still have one person I work with because we love each other. And I love to stay in the kitchen cooking. All my food is gluten-free, dairy-free, and clean, because we found the clean eating is the best way of eating. So go to my website. There's a blog. There's podcasts. I have a podcast series on iTunes called Get Well Soon. I have a lot of stuff going on. So a lot of stuff for free. My newsletter. So thank you so much for listening. And I hope with all my heart that this information will help you get well.